a world-renowned academic. The president believes that by setting up the NEL fund, the students' loan scheme, and putting a paltry, maybe, I don't know whether it's 10 billion or whatever billion he puts there, that he solved the problems in our tertiary education. What do you think?
The point is that the president is not educated.
Why?
He hasn't been to school.
He's an American educated accountant. Works in Mobile. I knew him at Mobile Oil.
You have his certificate?
He has a certificate.
Look, my friend, let me tell you, let's be honest with ourselves.
Yes.
We need to not, the letter I wrote, the paper I wrote the last time was deception, destitution, and hopelessness. This is part of the deception of this administration.
Prof.
You cannot, allow me.
Okay.
Education is not a joke.
Okay.
You and I are beneficiaries of education, and that's why we're here talking.
Yeah.
Our parents did not do that, but our country that has the right to educate did that for us. But here you are. You are removing subsidy on education, subsidy on fuel, subsidy on this, and then you put paltry amount of this in that, and you say, oh, you've solved education. What have you solved? You've solved nothing. We are very educated people. We cannot be bamboozled. And we are product of the stewardship of our leaders past.
Absolutely.
None of people in this government can look at us in the face and think they can bamboozle us. This is nothing but deception.
Absolutely.
And no nation can continue to live on fumes of deception and the destitution they are putting us. Get real. Our people are dying.
So
there is hunger in the land.
Nutshell,
we're killing our people.
The student loan scheme is not the way to go. It's not even scratching the surface. I agree with you on that. Anyway,
I'm not even
Prof, let's take this one because we're totally out of time. The House of Reps, last week, I think also, passed a resolution. The Senate, the House Committee on Security or National Security, I think, passed a resolution that the presidential fleet, that's the fleet that manages the presidential, the aircrafts for the president and vice president, that they are unserviceable. And so I'm mandating the executive arm to procure 2 brand new aircraft. I was aghast. And most Nigerians, from the feedback I'm getting, even from my colleagues on the various TV networks, what's your view on this? What does this show about our leaders? What does this show?
I'm at the end of my tether. I really am. I mean, the irresponsibility in governance when we have this.
When we
have our children like you see.
Yeah.
Like you see in Gaza Strip, South Sudan, or Afghanistan, this is irresponsible governance. We expect peace. I mean, this is not worthy of my answering them.
Absolutely.
Who passed the bill? Is that committee? Who is the chair of that committee? Where is he from? The chair of that committee is from Borno State. Borno State has more people that have malnutrition. Who is the chair of the committee of the Senate on national security who came and was supporting this? He is from Bauchi State. So fellow Nigerians, go look up the chairman of these 2 committees in the House and the Senate that are supporting and proposing that we buy 2 new aircrafts, one for the president, one for the vice president, when we have our children malnourished. Come on, people.
Your point is well taken. I actually told a friend of mine that it is beneath me to actually get involved in that conversation.
This is irresponsible governance, period.
Absolutely. Prof, as we conclude now, everything we've talked about boils down to leadership, failure. What stops somebody like you, and I'm sure somebody else, some other person will say, even you, but Wale, number one, how we recruit our leaders is broken completely. Because I think we have leaders who have no values. Even if we could say they're educated, some of them are, but it's obvious they don't have values. But how do we get sufficient quantity of leaders who, I mean, let me say whose heads are screwed properly in sensitive positions, in leadership positions? How do we do that?
Right. So democracy does not end beyond
elections.
Get involved. That's why we're getting involved. We must get involved.
Would you contest for office 2027?
Who knows? Yeah. Give me the ticket for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You need to go slug it out. Nobody's going to hand it over to you.
I will beat...
No, you need to go slug it out.
I will beat Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You think so?
I will.
No, who knows you in Nigeria? Beyond people like us, who knows you in the villages?
Anyway,
they don't know you in the villages.
But fellow Nigerians, the point I'm making, forget the joke. The point I'm making is our destiny is in our hands.
Absolutely.
We cannot allow this irresponsible leadership to continue. All of us must get involved. We must go beyond just dropping our, casting our votes. We must ask our leaders to be more responsible. All the governors, all the 36 governors, without exception, they are acting like pharaohs. And the president is just there doing his own thing. In a country where we have these malnourished children. For goodness sake, if we don't do that, God Almighty will ask us what did we do when our people were going through that. Because silence in the face of evil is itself evil.
It's complicit. We're complicit. Prof, I think we have to leave it there today.
Thank you.